Hello students, I hope you have done the last assignment. Today we are going to do chapter 7 Fair Play. Now this is a story written by Premchand and it has been translated in English. Okay, this is a story of two friends. Two friends means Juman Sheikh and Algu Chaudhary. They are very good friends and they had a very strong bonding of friendship. Such a strong was their bonding that everyone in the village used to praise them for their friendship. Now, what happened? Something happened that their friendship broke out. Now, Jumman had an old aunt actually who used to stay with her and she had some property. Just to stay with Jumman, she thought that she would transfer all her property to Jumman. For some years, she stayed with the family very nicely, but later on, difficulties started by Jumman's wife. He was every time whenever she asked for food and something, the wife of Jumman used to just grudge at him or say bad words to her. Now what happened? Now she told Jumman that you just give me a monthly allowance and I'll set up a separate kitchen. Jumman was not ready for that also. So she said that for a fair decision she would go to Panchayat. So Panchayat was called and before that everyone, Jumman and his aunt also tried all their way to bring people to their bring people into their company, or you can say in their decision that they should support her decision. So the day came and the day came and Panchayat was set. Now someone had to be the Sarpanch, the head punch of the Panchayat. So Jumman said that his aunt is going to choose the head punch. Now his aunt chose Algu Chaudhary as the head punch. Now everything was discussed and as a head punch, Algu Chaudhary gave the decision that Jumman should pay a monthly allowance to his aunt. This made Jumman very angry because he thought that Algu Chaudhary is his friend and he is going to give decision in his favor only. But this never happened. Now after the decision, the friendship broke. They never used to talk to each other. Now time passed. Now time passed and this way Algu and Jumman was separated and time passed. Once happened that Algu faced a very bad time. He had to sell off his bullocks also. So he sold his bullock to one of the man. And it is said days passed and ill luck would have it. Algu Chaudhary found himself in a tight spot. One of his fine pair of bullocks died and he sold the other to Samju Sahu, a car driver of the village. The understanding was that Sahu would pay the price of the bullock in a month's time. It so happened that bullock died within a month. So after the decision, time passed and Algu had to face a very tight time, very ill luck. Okay, and over here what happened? His one of the fine pair of bullocks died and the other sold to Samju Sahu, the car driver. Now it was understanding that he is going to pay the money within a month, but before giving the money only the bullock died. Several months after the bullock's death, Algu reminded Sahu of the money he hadn't yet paid. Sahu got very annoyed. I can't pay you a penny for the wretched beast. You sold me. He brought us nothing but ruin. I have a bullock. Use it for a month and then return it to me. No money for the dead bullock, he said angrily. Now, after the death of the bullock also, after you can say after a long month, many months of time, Algu reminded that you should pay the money, but Samju Sahu was not ready to pay the money. He said that the bullock died only. Why should I pay the money? I have a bullock. You use it for a month and give it back to me. Now Algu decided that this is not done. This is not a fair play. So he should go to the panchayat. So for the second times in a few months preparation, another panchayat was held. And again, that was the come where a sarpanch, or you can say a head punch, has to be chosen up. And now Sahu was given the chance to choose the name. Sahu knew about Jumman and Algu's enmity, and so he chose Jumman because he thought, because Jumman was enemy of Algu, he thought that Jumman is going to give a decision in his favor. Here it is said, the moment Jumman became head punch, he realized his responsibility as judge and the dignity of his office. Could he, seated in that high place, have his revenge now? He thought and thought. Now he must not allow his personal feelings to come in the way of speaking the truth and doing justice. Now what happened? Jumman could easily take the revenge of the decision that was given by Algu long back, but when he got the office of the head punch, he realized his responsibility. He was not supposed to take any revenge. He has to put aside his personal feeling, and he has to give a fair decision, a just decision. So he had to go through this. He had to speak the truth, and he has to do the justice. Both Algu and Sahu stated their cases. They were cross-examined and the case was considered deeply. Then Jumman stood up and announced, "It is our opinion that Sahu should pay Algu the price of the bullock. When Sahu brought the bullock, it suffered from no disability or disease. The death of the bullock was unfortunate, but Algu could not be blamed for it. Algu could not contain his feeling. He stood up and said loudly over and over again, 'Victory to the panchayat. This is the justice. God lives in the voice of the punch.'" Now over here, what is he said? When the case was considered, it was cross-examined and the case was considered deeply. It is said that now Jumman gave his decision that Algu was right. When he sold the bullock, it was all right. It had no disease. Unfortunately, the bullock died. So Samju had to pay the money to Algu. Now, hearing this, Algu stood up and said that victory to the panchayat. The justice of God lives in the voice of the punch. It is being said that the God is speaking in the voice of the punch. Soon after, Jumman came to Algu, embraced him and said, "Since the last panchayat, I had become your enemy. Today I realized what it meant to be a punch. A punch has no friend, no enemy. He knows only justice. Let not one deviate from the path of justice and truth for friendship or enmity." Now Jumman understood that what Algu did long back was right. For a punch, he had no friend, he has no enemy. He has only to do the justice. And so they all, again Jumman and Algu, became friends. So this is the story. I would like you all to read the story very nicely. Okay? Thank you, students.